All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Princes of Azemar, episode 19, Deal with the Devil.
Ooh.
Bum, bum,
Oh. Let me
brrrr.
meet
like
your
me.
boss, Koros. I
Hey.
want to meet your boss.
Let's start with some
Slander.
intros. Tonight, we've got the second part of our epic three-part Princes Extravaganza. We've got in the top left, played by Bobby, it is the warlock with more vices than virtues, Koros Ravenrock.
I also have a cute cat off screen. That's why I'm leaning like
Actually,
this.
on screen, I can just see the one in the corner. Is that Livy in the corner?
Oh, yeah, she is in the corner there, yes.
Yeah, super
Everyone
cute.
say hi to Livia.
And in the top right, played by Lincoln, it is the fashion dragon himself, formerly known as Dirt Courage, Nadam Ilrio Nazir.
I have two cute cats just off screen. It's a statement you can't disprove.
Man's got a point.
I'll just call your mom real quick. She pops in as the third frame. No,
That I would freak
and
out.
our guest tonight, Lincoln's mom.
Surprise!
Anyway, last time on Princes of Azemar, or at least the last time that these two were here, you all were attempting to enter the city of Al-Zali to retrieve the amulet from Akhman Ra, because he apparently led you on this wild goose chase, but he had the amulet all along. Also, Koros, I just looked really close at your character, and you've got an amulet on too, so we've got some questions.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I do have something in my inventory that I've been meaning to ask about. Like the something of the moon that I just don't know what it is.
The navel of the moon, I
That's
believe.
right, the navel of the moon.
I think it's a big-ass gem, but I'd have to double-check
Is that-
my notes.
Does
Is that why
Koros
I can
have a
smell
bag
gold? I forgot
full
why
of
I could smell
random
gold.
crap?
The smelling
he's just
gold, I
like-
think, was some sort of
Where did this come from?
curse. I don't remember if you still have it. I'd have to
It's
go.
on my sheet, but I don't need to hold it. Like, I haven't used it much.
Anyway, Nadam tried to enter. The guards were like, "Yo, get in line," and he was like, "Nah," and ran over the top, ran straight towards the temple, and got beaten to a pulp by a bunch of like Egypt-themed golems.
Only right there at the end.
He made it right up to the door of the temple, and
You
then
did get farther than me.
was pulp. Koros was then immediately arrested, taken in for questioning, and with some mass suggestion, he was able to say, "Take me to your leader." And they took him to the captain of the guards, Sahir, who was like, "Akhman Ra will want to see this guy."
And then Akhman Ra woke me up.
Yes.
That's the next thing I remember.
You wake up to Akhman Ra feeding you some water from the pool. You find yourself
Yeah.
laying on the floor of the temple, right next to that basin, the magical basin that turns gold into water. And he said something to the effect of, "If you wanted to come in, all you had to do was ask."
You think I didn't try that?
And he says, "Well, you do have to wait till I hear the question. If you just run over the wall when the guards hear it, there's not much that I can do for you."
I have no patience for your guards. You're one of the only humans I've met who isn't, either small-minded or stuffy.
A moment later, you hear there's a Lily threw me a granola bar. You hear some guards coming in, and they're escorting someone. And you turn, you see it's Koros, and you notice that he's being taken by Sahir, the right hand of Akhman Ra, and he says, "My apologies for the interruption, Akhman." And he says, "What is it, Sahir? Anything?" He was trying to get in the gate without tribute. The guards took him in, and I figured you would want to see him. He goes, "Ah, yes, please come." And he invites Koros in as well.
No good,
You've had better plans, Nadam.
And he says, "I apologize to both of you for the confusion at the gate. We can have it resolved. In fact, I can send some guards out. In fact, I have already sent some guards to retrieve the rest of your party. I wouldn't want to give you anything other than hospitality, as you were there when Al-Zali was discovered."
Which is what I said to the guards at the front gate, but...
But there are many new guards who were not there.
This one said he was.
Well,
But
then
it is in the past.
I'll have a talking to with him. And he says, so how was your quest? Did you find the amulet that you seek?
We did not, but we did find some information about it
Oh?
that we wanted to share with you. We were told by a certain diamond gemstone dragon by the name of Riza
So you
that she knows where it is.
so you
she
made it to
told
the
us.
Eternal Palace and returned unscathed.
In a sense.
And he says,
Um,
my congratulations. I know very few who have achieved that task.
besides yourself, of course.
He raises an eyebrow at you when you say that.
She is eternal and chatty.
And this amulet that you seek?
She claims you have it.
Perhaps. And he turns back to a chest at the side of the throne thing there, and he opens it up and he looks inside and he picks up an amulet by the chain, and he says, "Yes, I do recall. This is one of the treasures that I brought from the Eternal Palace. When you mentioned it, when you mentioned you were searching for an amulet, it did not occur to me that this could be the amulet that you seek. You say that this can whisk a city away."
According to a crazy old elf in a magical bar, yes. May I see it? I promise I won't run off with it. Not after you've been so
He-
kind.
He hands it over to you.
I inspect it, but I'm not an expert on this. I'm just kind of looking at it. Do I get kind of a vibe?
Were we given a description by his
Zabrin.
name's not Zanzibar, but I want to call him Zanzibar?
Zavarin. And
Thank you. I knew it was a Z.
No, he seemed to imply that, like, it was the sort of thing you could identify.
What, there's just one amulet in all the deserts?
As far as Zabrin knows.
That identify that I just said was in italics.
Oh, okay. Well, we've misplaced the one that can do that. I hate wizards.
And he says, if Rise of the Eternal says it is the amulet I took from her, this is that amulet.
I want to pause you right there, though, because, like, you just pulled that out of a box of what I assume is a bunch of shiny stuff. Do you happen to have, like, two? Should we peruse a collection, or?
Other artifacts, yes. Amulets, no.
Well, it clears that up.
Amulet stolen from the palace of Rise of the Eternal. No.
You'd think there wouldn't be that many, but he's got a whole trunk of stuff.
He says, there are many powerful artifacts that I've gathered over time, and I know not what all of them do. Many I have already sacrificed to the city.
I was going to ask about that. It was a
Hence,
little smaller when we left.
These powerful magical protections.
Yeah.
All of this has come from the fountain.
I've become acquainted with your powerful magical protections.
Maj Tal... Sorry, you can't see my arms are out to my side. Maj Tal Zali. I can back up a little. And he says, treasure in exchange for power. The contract of the fountain is clear. And true.
As we can see.
And he says, your cause seems a just one, saving a city from some sort of peril. I will happily bestow the amulet to you.
You are very kind. We're in your debt.
He gives like a little bow.
Just say it like that, why don't you?
Just then, the doors open and the party arrives, escorted by a few guards.
Oh, awesome.
Hello, friends.
What's the amulet look like?
A magic amulet.
Got him.
Come on.
What do you want to know?
I just want but it looks cool.
It's like
I
a
mean,
gemstone
dragon.
encased in like a gold surrounding with all this ornate finery around it, and then this thick metal chain, thick gold chain around.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I'm just describing to you how my brain imagines it. I haven't put
no.
much thought into the...
It's a very important MacGuffin. I figured the
You
prop
should
was
put it
pretty
on.
cool.
It will go nicely with your decaying hoist blanket that I assume you're still wearing.
I am not.
He is,
I am dressed very well.
In my head, you're wearing a decaying hoist blanket.
You are also a goat.
I am currently not a goat, thank you.
You're a goat where it counts.
Burnham says, well then, it looks like we've got the amulet. That was easy.
It appears
You're
to be.
welcome.
Should I start taking us back? And he points at the teleportation circle on the floor.
Assuming
I
the
have-
amulet doesn't cause some kind of crazy interference, yes, maybe you should identify it first.
All right. Let me see if I've got that one prepared.
He doesn't need to.
Identify?
It's a ritual.
Sure, but that'll take 10 minutes.
I've got 10 minutes.
All right, he'll spend 10 minutes. He'll light some candles. Humana.
I'm not going to make him spend a spell slot.
And he
While
identifies.
he's,
I just, during those 10 minutes, I just chat with Achman Ra about the other cool
I was going to
stuff
say,
he's got
while
in
he's
his
getting
magic trunk.
incense, I have questions.
Uh-huh.
So, cities don't typically grow out of the ground, and while it was confusing that we lost some time to various magical effects, it's been like a week.
Akmenra stops you there. A week.
How long has it been?
My friend, I think you've been confused in your time in the desert.
So out of character, I'm also confused. We had the time loop thing for a few
Yes.
days, but I have forgotten. How long was it?
Even if you subtract the time loop out, from your perspective, it was, I do believe, 6 nights. So a
That's
week.
a week. I'm not wrong.
However, he is telling you that it has been longer than that. It has been, let me do some math, 14, 15. It's been more like 2 weeks?
That's
Okay.
not bad.
I thought you were going to say a decade, so...
As far as time dilation goes, I
Yeah,
think we're
losing a
fine.
week, like, I can live with losing a week.
You have no idea where
Um,
that week went because you counted the nights.
Sure, no, but that's...
The
I would go.
we've-
Like, it's not the weirdest
I'll
thing
take an
that's ever happened to
insight
me.
check.
We've established the desert is quite spooky.
I'm all about insight. I love to be insightful about things. Oh, no, I'm actually not about insight at all. And I bet I forgot my drop down. Yep, I did. Apologies.
All right, there we
Fixed
go.
now.
13.
Week.
You're not certain, but you do remember there was that sort of Groundhog Day moment with the Oasis.
Right, that's the one I was thinking of.
You don't know how many times you guys did that loop.
That's a fair
May
point.
I make an insight check
You may.
as we're having this conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, I forgot my drop down too. We're dumb.
Oh, both of you. I reset the tachometer properly. I did my end of the bargain.
You're better at this than we are. That's not really a shock to anybody.
All right.
Well, that's surprising and mildly alarming news, but to compartmentalize for a minute, you have this giant new metropolis. Do you mind if I ask what your plans for it are?
And he says,
I don't mean to pry, but someone's going to notice you have this place.
for now, as long as peaceful people arrive bearing treasure to expand the city, we will give them space and grow the city. When it comes time and we can train a large enough group of fighters and warriors, we can ride out and liberate these deserts, save them from the bandits. And,
There it is.
From the bandits and the brigands, and bring peace and prosperity to this bloody age.
Yep, no, I get it. Pick some fights with the Latins and the Sabines. Sounds good to me.
Could you explain that reference, please, Bobby?
That's a Rome joke is what that is.
Ah.
So, the legends of the city of Rome, some of their very first enemies were the Latins and the Sabines.
Gotcha.
And in fact, because they were founded mostly by, like, male brigands that were cast out of society, they actually kidnapped all the Sabine women to be their wives. It's weird
I have
for
also
people to...
read the Aeneid. Thank you.
It's weird for people to put that in their national myth, is all I'm saying. Anyway, we can move on.
So yeah, he's basically saying he's going to save these deserts.
Well, more
Good for
power
him.
to you. Yeah,
That sounds like a great friend to have.
I've heard of worse ideas.
All right.
I think we're good.
He finishes his 10 minutes, and Burnham says, "Aye, this is the amulet we seek.
Delightful.
Does all sorts of creepy planar stuff.
Definitely taking a teleport circle. What could go wrong?
It'll be fine."
I hate wizards.
He tosses it in his bag of holding.
No, don't, you idiot! Damn it!
Boom, you're all dead. No, it's fine.
That would be funny if that was the inciting incident. Bernard throws it.
Goddamn
in
trade school wizards.
He throws it in his bag of holding. Azemar ceases to exist.
We all end up different planes.
Works fine. He's like, "All right, I'll get this teleportation circle going. Everyone in, everyone in."
All right, I'm in. Is that the somatic component?
It is now. This is now canon.
It's Alberto making that noise.
The teleportation circle is silent.
You are whisked away, and you find yourselves arriving back in Isik. Zavarin is there. He's just coming up the stairs because he heard the teleportation circle activate. And he says, "Excellent. Did you find it?"
Sure did.
Yeah?
Hey, let me
I
see.
hand my hand out for Burnham.
Burnham hands it to you.
I hand it to Zavarin.
Boom. The second you hand it to Zavarin, he goes,
It's a trusting ass party we
Fascinating.
have here.
and then everything freezes for a moment, blurs and drifts away, and you find yourselves again standing in the temple in Al-Zali, and you see Akhman Ra standing in front of you, but he is not the human form that you saw before. He instead it's very clearly him, but almost like an Aarakocra-like appearance. He has this hawk head, like Horus, like Ra, like,
I'm confused.
and he has
Hand
this.
goes to sword instinctively.
Your sword is not there.
That's fine. I punch things.
Yeah, neither of us really use weapons.
And he says, "You would give the amulet to him, he who robbed the riches of our people and brought this curse down upon us. No, you do not deserve it." And he swings his arm out across. There's this beam of light, and you are cast into darkness.
Rip.
Rude.
I'm guessing that was like a royal hour, because I'm not one of his people.
No, that was us versus them kind of thing. Our.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I see what you mean. I'm guessing we're now the them.
You
I
wake
don't
up.
have a backup character ready, so
You wake up lying on a bed in a well-appointed apartment in the architecture around you seems like Moroccan, which you would associate with Isik.
I'm like in an apartment.
You're in a, like it's a nice-ish room. You're both in there. There's two beds. You're both sort of waking up roughly around the same time.
Good
It's-
morning.
It's the curtains are drawn. It is the day, but the curtains are drawn to keep it cool and dark in here.
I'm gonna peek outside the curtains, like it's a seek. Yeah.
You
it
look
looks
out.
like-
Yeah, you see the city of Isik.
I'm
Okay.
standing right behind Koros, and I'm not wearing clothes because if we were sleeping, I would not be wearing clothes.
You were wearing clothes.
That's weird. That's really weird.
You think that maybe why don't you give me an insight check? See if it goes
Sure.
better this time.
At least our
God.
drop downs are set.
Wow, it went one better.
Wait for it
Yeah,
and
nope.
slow it. Technology.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Neither
We-
of you are sure, but you notice that you're in the same thing you were wearing in Al-Zali, and your equipment is all still with you. And you weren't even under the covers here. You were just sort of laid on top of these beds.
Are we at Zavrin's house?
Maybe.
Did we ever learn like names of days and years in Azemar? Like, I kind of want to just go
Yes.
ask, like, run downstairs and pull an Ebenezer Scrooge. Like, what day is it? Ideally,
know,
not in my goat form, because that would be weird.
let's see. When you left Azai, when you left to seek to the Nine Deserts, it was the month of either Kiaransali in
Okay.
Elvish, in the Azamaran, or Kelimvor in the English. the
I
common.
recognize those names.
Which you know is the time of winter. It is the 8th month of the 10-month year.
Okay. There's not like a wall calendar. We don't do that yet. Probably not.
Not in this room.
All right. I don't know. Nadam, unless you have an objection, let's leave.
I
don't
think
really
we
get
should
to
go
hear and play
downstairs
house.
and figure out what's going on.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to walk down and out to the street, assuming nothing interesting happens before I get there.
So, something interesting is going to happen before you get there.
I thought it might.
All right, you all exit the room here. You have all your stuff on you. A bit of it was laid to the side, where it was uncomfortable to lay you down, like a belt with swords on it or whatever. but you can easily put that back on and start walking out into the hallway. And you hear muffled voices talking in the next room over.
What do they say?
You recognize... Actually, give me a perception check.
Yeah, you almost said it too.
I don't know, your passive is pretty high, but...
Come on!
God, you guys are rolling like shit today. There you go,
Your
Nadam.
Dom did okay.
You recognize the first voice as Zaverin's.
Hmm.
And you hear him saying, "Do you have the blade?" And another voice says, "Yes, it's here." And he says, "Good.
Ooh, that's Dex. It's a snake person.
Good.
And if only Alex were here.
It's crucial to the plan." And he says, "Don't worry, my liege. A certain emperor's son will no longer be a problem after tonight." And then you hear Zaverin, "Shh," as he hears your footsteps coming down the hallway.
I go in.
Yes.
Zaverin says, "Ah, Koros, Nadam, welcome." And he says,
Charmed.
I see you've awoken."
Sure. Yes.
How did we get here?
And you see he
That one.
dismisses this other person who's cloaked, he's got a hood up, and he hurries out the door.
I'm sending class feature after him, assuming class feature's even still here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Class feature will follow this guy.
Cool.
Yeah, what he said, what happened? I don't remember the last.
Yes,
Actually,
well-
I don't know what I've lost.
Let me see what I can fill you in on. I still don't have the full story. He says, Theo and Burnham returned. Theo was carrying the both of you, unconscious. They seemed frantic. They had the amulet, but it did not come with them, and they needed to return post-haste. And he says, I activated the teleportation circle and sent them back to... They described the city of Al-Zali. I could not send them to the same circle from the ruins from where I'd sent you before. It didn't seem to work. Something
The terrain's changed slightly.
interesting.
Dust storm, I think.
They described a city I was not aware of, and I did my best to send them there. We should hear back from them shortly.
Yes,
Unless you sent them halfway around the world.
And he says, there's always a chance of mishap with teleportation, but Theo and Burnham seemed to think that the risk was worth it.
From our perspective, we had visited Al-Zali, and it had, through some magic and part of a fountain things, you put gold in it, the city got bigger.
Fascinating.
The ruins are no longer ruins.
I shall have to investigate when we have more time.
My perspective, I got here, gave you the amulet, and then I woke up. There was a hawk man who was very upset with us for giving you the amulet.
No, you must have been dreaming. I do not have the amulet.
Very strange. I believe you.
He says, Theo and Burnham arrived. They seemed to think they had the amulet in their possession, but when they turned, another compatriot of theirs, I'm not sure who, maybe one of your party.
Describe them?
They didn't say who.
Oh.
Oh, they
Did
returned
they
to
say
get
who?
someone?
I don't remember. Jake doesn't remember if they said who, so I'm going to say that they said who. They named someone, a man named Pharaoh.
Ah, yes. We had met a
Oh.
man named Pharaoh. It's a whole thing.
He had the amulet, and he was still in the city. Apparently, the teleportation didn't pick him up.
Strange.
He had the amulet, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
This is all very weird. Can you send us as well? We should
Was
probably
it
help
just
them.
Theo and Burnham that
Was it just Theo and Burnham? Yes, only Theo and
came
Burnham.
back?
I'm not sure where Eridan or Irina are.
Oh,
interesting?
They did not seem to be worried about them, though, and they instructed me to look after you. I had my attendants take you to one of the apartments. I hope that you found the accommodations agreeable.
am I fully rested? I at, like, 5 hit points or
No,
something?
you were unconscious. You're at like a hit
What is-
point. Yeah, it's
Okay,
the same
cool.
day.
Okay. Was it an hour? Do I get spells?
Being unconscious does not count as a short rest.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if they're not worried, I was going to say I'm not, but no, I don't trust either of them. But it's too late for that. Yeah, I guess could you send us to where you sent them?
And he says, I can, but not till first thing tomorrow morning.
Well, then I
Fair.
suppose we'll just have to wait.
Yeah, that's fine. What day is it, if you don't mind my asking?
Jake is referring to his calendar.
Zavrin is referring to his wall calendar.
You could just tell me if we like lost whole days
He
or
says,
if it...
it's the calends of Lolth.
Great.
The first of the month after Kieran Silly.
I would
So we
love to know
have
what
not-
that is in the dragon
So
calendar.
that
but
is 2 weeks after you arrived, roughly 2 weeks after you arrived in the Nine Deserts.
I would
Okay,
love to
so
know what that is in
modulo the
dragon
time
days.
loop, we didn't lose any additional time.
Correct.
Okay.
It is still this, as far as you can tell, the same day that you arrived in Al-Zali.
That we maybe got an amulet, saw a hawk dude, but then the amulet's not here and we're confused.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Short and long of it.
Yep.
Ooh, wait, did I?
Did you what?
I did. I learned scrying when we leveled up. I would like to attempt to scry for Theo and Bernum.
Do you have any
I mean, I guess
slots
just
left?
one of them, but I'm sorry?
Do you have any slots left?
I think I have 2 slots. All I cast was Dimension Door.
Creepy Finger.
Creepy
No,
Finger's
that's
a
at will.
cantrip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's at will. Ulcer Self is at will, and the Mass Suggestion is its own thing. Every Warlock thing 6th and above, you get 1 per day, but not as a spell slot.
Nice.
Yeah. Warlocks
Cool.
are actually kind of fun.
Is it the month of Silver Dragon?
It is winter, the deepest winter.
Is that
That's
a
the month of
particular
Silver
dragon?
Dragon.
Wait, why would that not be White Dragon? Never mind, it's not important. Oh yeah, while we're waiting, I don't know, is there like a mirror in the house or something?
Are you like leaving the room
White
that
Dragon is in
Zavrin's
spring,
in?
silly.
I was gonna, I don't even necessarily need to leave the apartment, but I was gonna leave the room. I guess I'll ask Zavrin if there's a mirror available in the house.
And he says, yes, there should be one in your powder room.
It's my scrying mirror right here. The mirror I use for scrying.
Actually,
That's extremely convenient.
absolutely, in this room that you're in, which is like his room, he would absolutely have a scrying mirror in this room. So yes.
All right, would
you like to use it?
Oh yes, my
yeah, would you
scrying
mind
mirror.
if I availed myself of your scrying mirror?
Please.
I appreciate that. All right. So I don't know how scrying works in 5e because I've never actually cast it before.
And you're a
but I'm-
warlock, so you probably do something weird like rub your face on the mirror.
I probably have to bleed on it.
It's like, oh, I forgot you're a warlock.
All right. So basically, Lily has to make a save.
Lily, get in there.
She's upstairs.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to scry for Theo.
All right.
Basically, the way it works is if they know I'm casting the spell, which she wouldn't, they can voluntarily fail the save. Apart from that, make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target. I would say I'm quite familiar with Theo.
Theo rolled a scarab on my very cool desert,
Which is a
Egypt
20,
dice,
right?
Which is a natural 20.
Okay, so never mind. That whiffed hard. And I believe you cannot...
Do it again.
Yeah, you can't scry someone again for 24 hours, but I could scry Baron.
You gotta use another slot though.
I do
Fine,
have
we're
to use
taking a
another
mess
slot.
anyway.
But if we're going to be here till tomorrow, I can get them back in an hour, so...
Severin says, anything?
No, I'm afraid not. Never actually
He's-
done this before, so...
He's so dumb, you can't scry for
He
it.
says, I prefer to use my crystal ball. I've never been too good with divination spells.
Well... Was that an offer, or...
No.
I didn't think so. In any case, I'd like to try again if you don't need the mirror.
Please.
Thank you. All right,
All right,
I'd
so
like
you,
to try.
you are going to try again. All right, let me get my dice
Again.
back out.
Again, a -5 on his wisdom saving throw. My
Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
DC is 20, I believe.
That was very nearly another 20. But it was right next to it, so it was a 14 on the die plus
So that's a 9
a
on the die
shit ton.
plus
What's the DC he's going for?
20.
20.
20. Burnham, what's his wisdom saving throw?
Does he have
Probably
an 11?
insanely high.
He's
Does he have
got
an 11?
no. If it was
might have-
intelligence, it would be. He's got plus
His
5.
intelligence saving throw is 11?
It's plus
You
10.
can't scry him. He's too
Yeah, that doesn't
smart.
matter, though. He still fails.
His wisdom is 5.
Okay, then I successfully scry him. So
Tune in tomorrow night to see what you see on this mirror right now.
all right, fair enough.
Crap.
Here's what I'll say. Let's see. Is Lily here? No, she's not. All right. You see, Burnham on what looks kind of like a sailing ship, even though he's in the desert, fighting against some elves with very sharp teeth.
Oh, yes.
You recognize those.
Oh, I'm watching tomorrow.
And Theo is with him?
Let's go with yes. We'll see
Okay.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, I suppose it might
At
not
least
be.
at
But
this moment.
yeah.
At this moment, which may or may not show up on the stream tomorrow.
Okay, what did Zavrin say he had done again? He sent them back to Al-Zali.
Correct.
That's what he said. Okay.
Yeah, it's late evening here, so.
Okay. I guess I don't have anything else in particular I want to do. If I
no,
had
wait.
slots, I would scry the other
Let me
pair. But...
let me draw that back for a second because time zones would go the other way on my planet, so it would be earlier there, not later there. So I haven't measured how far it is and how many time zones away it is, but let's just say that you see Theo and Burnham on a ship in the desert.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Great.
at a noticeably different time of day, or
No, earlier in the
Okay.
day a little bit, but
okay.
right, because if it goes that way, then that was yeah.
They're
Yeah,
on
I-
a ship in the desert, which seems to be where he sent them. Things seem to be going okay.
Well, hold up. Maybe we were just at Al-Zali and there was no land ship there.
To
So
say
I'm
it
not.
this way, in the map, magnetic north is cartographic west on the map
That
of
just
Azemar.
makes me angry at you, to be honest. But okay.
The sun rises in the north,
No, I get it. It's fine. I understand.
which means as you go south, you go like real life west, which would mean earlier.
I've literally never figured out how it works on Elzali on Azemar, and I don't care at this point.
This is the first time I've really thought about it, because it's the first time it's mattered.
All right.
Which way's north? Whatever.
Yeah, it's that way.
Towards the top of the battle map.
All right. I have nothing else in particular I want to do, to be honest, until he can teleport us, except find out what class feature saw when following the dude. Nadam, is there anything you want to do?
I'm good.
Okay.
If we have to wait, we have to wait.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Class feature follows this dude, and this dude leaves Zavrin's building, goes to another building in his seek, and is being all creepy and has his hood and being stealthy, and he's hiding in some bushes and peeking in a window, and you see that he is watching Emerald.
Okay. Interesting.
If we excuse ourselves to go rest, before I leave the door, I kind of crack it and I go, "Oh, and good luck with your whole thing." And then I
Yeah,
leave.
Just tell him. No, that's sigh. Great. Just tell him. Okay. I'll follow him. We should stay together because we're about to get assassinated for
No,
knowing
go
about
take
this
a nap.
plot.
This is his business.
He might not see it that way.
I will remind y'all of what you know.
Mhm.
Excuse me. You know that Emerald is the Emperor's son.
Mhm.
You also know that Emerald is one of the few things keeping Vizerin from getting to the Eldris family, who is under Emerald and Zavrin's protection.
That's right.
Oh, do I know that?
You do know that.
We did know that. That sounds familiar.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would bring up to him, and I'd be like, "So I heard what you were mentioning to your friend.
Excuse me?
To be clear, it sounds like none of my business, but may I make one May I just bring something to your attention?
Be careful what you say next.
Uh,
Yeah, he's not wrong
Currently,
about that.
Imral, in the interest of just sharing, Imral is the only thing protecting Theoden and Eridan's family from Vizirindavir, who we do not like, I
He
believe,
says,
mutually.
I am well aware.
I just would hope that we could come up with a way to protect their family.
He says, I know that Imral and I had a bit of a falling out, some disagreements over the plan with regards to Azai, but all is well. We have reconciled our differences, and we're in fact meeting in Azai tonight with the Emperor.
Well, then what was that with your friend? Which I
Excuse me?
heard all of, just so you know.
Ah, the Emperor has more than one son.
Oh, different son. Oh, then I suppose that's none of my business.
It's nice to have
Precisely.
spares.
Anyway, hope it goes well.
Thank you
For-
again for the use
for
of your
you.
scrying mirror. We should leave.
What? I mean, yeah, I was gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, let's go take a nap. I'm going to tell Nadam, by the way, I can't prove he's lying, but his friend is like currently looking through a window at Emerald. That doesn't mean anything, but like it's suspicious.
What I will also say, Koros, is that you can see through Class Feature's eyes that blade that was talked about is hanging on the belt of this guy.
Well, as long as he doesn't kill Emerald, I mean, that sounds like a him thing.
It sure sounds like he's about to. He's hanging around there with what I can only assume is some sort of mage-killing sword.
Well, I hope he doesn't kill Emerald, because then we won't give him what he wants.
Seems more like a dagger than a sword.
Even
We could
so.
go back in and mention this to him.
I don't really want to piss him off.
Well,
We're at
I
his
don't- I
house.
just plan. Listen, I don't know this Emerald fellow very well, and where I'm from, this sort of thing is rather normal. I don't know why humans and elves like to be sneaky about it, but I'm not going to tell them how to live.
Yes, no,
All
this is
I
what
would
I wanted.
say is, could he just please assassinate him a little later? If he's
What I
going to do
definitely
that?
wanted right now was a lesson in cultural diversity. Thank you, Nadam. This is all fine. I would like Emerald to not be assassinated, but frankly, I'm not clear where he stands right now. I would like the Eldris family to not be put in any danger.
That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Well, I don't exactly trust Zavarin right now, do I?
I don't either, but he's going to do what's in his own best self-interest.
How do we know what his own self-interest is? We woke up in his house mysteriously asleep.
He wants the magic necklace, right?
Didn't we try to give it to him? What the heck happened last night?
I don't know, but if he wants the magic necklace, he should keep Theoden and Eridan happy.
Yeah, we danced on tabletops and we took some many shots. Guess what I forgot?
Well, I hope that didn't happen.
Last Callan's night.
Well, there it is.
So our
I will-
options are go in there and be frank and say, please don't murder Emerald until after we have the Eldris family back. Please. Or we ignore it, and take him at his word that he's just going to kill a different son, or we go try to stop him.
Yeah, how badly do you need this nap? Can we go hang out and just, like, be there in case shit goes down?
I feel like if someone tripped me, I would die.
Do you think that'll be improved by a 30-second shut-eye?
Yes.
Ugh.
Quick nap.
The
Would help.
last little bit I will remind you is that Zavarin did say that the blade in particular was crucial to the plan.
Yeah, it sounds like you need a magic knife to kill a guy. Kill a magic
it's-
dude.
Look, it's possible he's a stealthy courier and he's bringing the knife to Emerald for perfectly innocent reasons. I don't know, but I'm not really a fan of where this is going. Come
I
with
feel like
me.
we should
Let's
just go. Let's just go. I feel like we should mention to Emerald again. Zavarin, hey, just so you know, if their family are hurt, they will become rapidly not very cooperative.
I think he knows that, but I take your point. All right. All right. I guess we can watch for now. If you want to talk to Zavarin again, but you're right. He's not going to piss off the Eldritch Brothers while they have the amulet. I'll keep Class Feature watching this for now. I don't know that we need to go get involved. I'm out of spell slots, and I'm also half dead on my feet, so I take your
I'm no
point.
help to anyone either.
All right, we'll wait.
I will
We'll
go
wait and
briefly
watch.
back to Zavrin and apologize for bothering him again.
The door is shut and locked.
There it is.
There is no response.
He's out murdering people. Let's go to bed.
It's weird and rude.
And suspicious is the word you're missing here.
I mean, keep watching through class.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Let's take a short rest.
Yes,
I can get my feet under me, and then let's go.
That's exactly right. We
Deal
will
with
wait
it.
1 hour. I will continue to watch through class feature's eyes and try to rest long enough to get spell slots back.
You wait an hour. During that hour, this guy continues to watch Emerald. Emerald appears to be getting ready. He's dressing up fancy-like.
Like you do.
Getting ready to go somewhere. And by the end of the hour, Emerald is just finally ready.
Oh, he's one of those people.
Spell slots.
He's like me.
Can't hear
get
you
all
over
my-
the sound of delicious spell slots.
Get all my key back. Spend some hit die.
Oh yeah, hit die. That's the ticket for sure. I need dispels into that. Oh man, I have a whole warlock thing that gives me max hit dice if my familiar's near me, and currently it's not. How sad.
Sorry, we have to do bookkeeping now, but I'm very hurt.
Don't forget
I
to add
have
your
a-
con to those, Bobby.
I think
No, it is.
my con mod is 0.
Oh, well. Then you didn't
Rip.
forget.
I didn't forget.
Hey, there's
I
some
can-
max hit
Hey, look
dice.
at that.
I
look
can
at
do
that.
these like in succession, right? I can now decide I want more.
Correct.
All right.
It's not like the deck of many things.
That probably good enough. Well,
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 20,
There we go. That's
17, 31.
rip to most of my hit dice, but that's fine.
Just as you guys are getting ready to finish up your rest, you see that Emerald is leaving, and the dude in the cloak starts moving.
Obviously, class feature follows them.
Yep. But you think now might be the time to interfere.
14, 22. Okay.
All right. All right, Nadab, you want to play hero?
Might as well.
All right. Did
Let's
I ever
go
take
to
that?
let's go to there.
Hold up
I
a
used
sec.
all
hold
of
up a
my
sec.
hit die.
This is a thing. This is a thing. I think I have a thing. Shroud of Shadow. Oh, that's in Xanathar. I think I can cast invisibility at will now. Hold up a sec.
Nice.
I like to think Koros isn't short. He's like,
Look,
invisible! No, it doesn't work.
yeah, I totally can. All right. Nadab and I are invisible while we do this.
Oh, cool. Shazam.
Whoosh! You two vanish.
Invisible!
You head down the stairs and out, and as you go approach the archway that leads outside, you see that there are two of those red-robed arcane mages guarding the door.
Is there a wall that I might ignore? Oh,
Archway.
I could,
It's open.
I can
archway
make
in a door. Okay.
yeah, like
But
a,
also, we're guests. Like, I can make us visible again, and we can just walk out saying, we're going to dinner, have a nice night, and then, like, we can duck around an alley.
You're not certain, because the last time you were in this house, these guards were not at this door.
But do they appear to be guarding the door against people coming in, or is this like a...
No, they're
Siege
standing
kinda thing.
inside, watching the inside on either side of the door.
I could jump out a window.
You're invisible.
Yeah, it's...
It's an
Yeah.
archway. It's open.
Yeah,
Let's
they're
go back
magic.
to our room. Does the window in our room open?
If they could see you, they would have already seen you.
Oh, well then let's go.
All right, yeah, just sneak by them.
Unless there's an enchantment on the door that like
There
dispels
probably is, but it's
invisibility
about
because
now.
this is Davern's freaking house.
Giving the DM ideas! You did this with the teleportation thing, too.
You walk through the archway. The mages do not notice you, and no magic incantation removes your invisibility.
Oh, well then we just
good.
leave.
and you can make your
Wherever
way
class
over
feature
to
is, yeah.
towards.
You gotta
Emerald's
get
house.
guards with true seeing. It's just, you have to.
Just common sense.
All right. When you get there, you see that Emerald has come outside. For the class feature, you see this. He's come outside of the house and up the stairs on the outside, up to the roof. And you see he's like lighting some candles around in a circle to get this teleportation circle ready.
Sorry, the roof of what? The roof of
His house.
Zabrin's house? His house, okay.
And you see that creepy dude in the cloak with the dagger is coming up the stairs.
So I assume that this is like on the same plane as me, so I can just like be there.
I was going to offer to dimension door us, assuming we're close by, but
I can just
your monk bullshit works too.
bang.
I'll need a stealth check.
Yeah, of course.
Why don't we? Never mind. Your truth.
Wait, no, go ahead and speak.
Well, it would break the invisibility if I cast a spell. So if you want to just zoom up there while invisible, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
All right, live
Here
your
I
truth.
go. Do I have advantage for being invisible?
You do.
21.
You're right up behind him on the stairs. Koros, you're way at the bottom of the stairs.
I'm going to start walking up, I guess. If it comes to it, I'll dimension door up.
You
I
can
mean,
get-
if I'm gonna follow him a little bit,
Yeah, you're fine.
like a Scooby Doo villain.
all right, he's
Is he menacingly brandishing the dagger?
absolutely. He's like,
He's gonna.
dun, 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 dun,
I'm gonna. I want to
dun,
wait
dun,
for him to
dun,
start
dun,
doing something threatening, and then just be
Dun,
like,
dun, dun,
no.
dun. He's like right behind Emerald. Emerald's like lighting a candle and not noticing. Bum, 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 bum.
When he pulls the hand up to go to stab, I'm just gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
You just grab his
Excuse
arm.
you. Yeah, I just grab his hand with the dagger in it. I'm like, "Hello."
Emerald
what are you
turns and is
doing?
like, huh? And the dude's like, ah, like, and then like turns to start fighting you. I presume that you turn to beat the crap out of him?
I mean, I'd like to avoid it, but if he's gonna be a punk,
Yes.
yeah.
Roll me one of your crazy flurry of blow things.
If he's gonna be a dork, I'll pull his wings off. There's one of those. There's one of those. There's one of those, and here's a fourth
Jesus.
one.
They all hit. This guy is. Would you like him to be dead or unconscious?
He's unconscious.
This guy is unconscious.
I'm not gonna kill him. That would be rude.
You've beat the crap out of him, and he is now unconscious.
What's his dagger look like?
You take the dagger from his hand, and it's elaborate. It's like wavy, and then comes to a point.
It's like a spooky green blade.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
I like that.
permanently dripping a little drop of poison.
No poison drops,
Oh.
It's a poisoned blade.
but it's a green blade.
Green blade. What's this guy look like? Now that he's unconscious.
Nondescript, evil-looking, pointy nose. Got a crook in it,
Short Jafar.
Yeah, short Jafar. That's.
Huh.
He looks
Odd.
like a dude you would hire to kill somebody.
I've met Emerald briefly once.
Yes.
I look at him and I say, "Nice to see you again."
And he says,
I know this is probably confusing.
"Thank you. That would have been bad."
I agree.
He says, "If I may," and he reaches his hand out to see the blade.
I give it to him.
Flip it around. He takes it, flips it around. Casts Identify. He doesn't have time for no rituals.
It's cool. He's that kind of guy.
And he says, "Fascinating.
Why? It's a killing emerald blade? A blade of emerald slaying?
A blade of disappearance. The life stealer."
Well, that's neat.
And he says, "If he would have stabbed me with this, I would have vanished, and he would have assumed my form."
Where do you go?
Unclear.
Well, he was sent by a certain, Zavrin Davros.
Zafran, I knew it.
Before you do anything hasty. And justified. Um, uh, Zavrin is rather important to a few of our goals, including Eridan and Theoden's.
At this moment, Quaros makes it to the top of the stairs.
Finally.
Oh, and Quaros is here.
And
Nice
he says,
to see you again, old
That's
friend.
Quaros. He turned into a goat.
It is good to see you again,
I'm not
Quaros."
looking. Oh no, I probably am because I was concentrating on the invisibility. I
Yeah.
do look like a goat now.
And he says, Quaros, he nods, he doesn't even look twice at you.
Nice to see you again.
He saw you when you were covered in hair and shit. Like, he can recognize you through any form.
Oh, of course. You've come up in the world, I see.
And he says, you know what he plans. He's going to destroy the city of Azai.
I'm going to be honest. We're not clear what he's planning.
He's going to use that MacGuffin from the desert, and he's going to send the city off into a demiplane, and it will be the end of Azemar as we know it.
Why?
He's mad.
Don't disagree terribly, but he also has red mages, which we need.
He's
I disagree a little bit. I've met him, and he wasn't exactly cackling.
He is 13th of the arcane. I am 2nd.
It's not really a contest.
Yes, but your boss. We don't love your boss.
I don't love Vizerin either, but I'm the only thing that's keeping him away from the Eldris brothers' family.
Hence,
Yeah, that's
our presence.
That's why we're here. To be clear.
And he says, I planned to tell my father tonight.
Tell your father what?
Zaverin's plans. To foil them, to stop him once and for all. Then I would take custody of the Eldris family and keep them safe. Zaverin will no longer be needed. His mad plans will only doom the Empire.
To be quite honest, I would not mind cutting Zavrin out of this deal, but I would need some kind of assurance that the, Red Mages, Uranibor, could all still move forward.
Urana what now?
I'm sorry, is that not what the peninsula is called?
No, West Azemar.
West Azemar, the Mages.
It can't be Uranibor yet, right?
Exactly.
Named after a specific historical personage.
Who has not yet saved West Azemar.
Bruce Paul, the Army of Orcs, all of that. That's still rather important to us.
Maybe. I'll try. All right. He says,
And of course, we greatly dislike Vizerin Devere, and it's sort of a standing thing. That your plane is less safe for having him on it.
how did you know that this assassin came from Zaverin?
Zavrin has thin walls.
You remember the bird?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the bird.
And he says, then you are witnesses.
I suppose technically I did hear him through a door discussing with someone saying, "Oh, is it ready? Do you have the blade? Yes, the Emperor's sons won't be a problem anymore." And then we followed him out, and he came to you, and I went to Zavrin, and he said, "The Emperor has lots of sons." And then we're like, "That's probably not true."
Good. Then you should come with me to Azai. You can tell my father what you heard, and between this blade, my testimony, and yours, he'll believe us, and he will cast Zavrin out. Zavrin is already on thin ice.
Yes, but wouldn't casting him out just make him a very angry and very powerful wizard?
And he says, the first time he was cast out, the Arcane Circle didn't know what to do. Now, this time, we will wipe his memories. He'll be a clean
Seems a
slate.
little roundabout, but all right.
We're not barbarians. We wouldn't just kill him.
Seems appropriate in this case, but all right.
He says to the demon worshipper and a dragon.
Kind
of the go-to.
I am not a demon worshipper.
Sorry, you're
They're
I have
devils.
business arrangements with demons.
They're devils. He's a devil worshipper, not a demon worshipper.
He calls his patron his first name when he's not around. Yes, sir, Mr. Baphomet, sir.
I don't necessarily want to go to Azai right now. I kind of wanted to, reunite with the group.
Well, we have people who could do that there.
And he says, don't worry, we can return to Asik by the end of evening.
I was going to say Emerald can do that now that we're acquainted.
He says, the circle will take us there and back.
Yes, I suppose I don't mind that now that we have all the time in the world.
Yeah, Emerald could get us to the Nine Deserts to help Theo and Bernham, whatever we need.
All right, I suppose we accept.
I'm happy to get help from anywhere, and I don't terribly trust Saturn.
All right.
Fair.
Emerald says, "Excellent. Let me finish," and finishes lighting the candles.
I do, as he's doing that, ask Emerald, uh, the Eldris brothers speak highly of you. Are
Oh,
you the same man they knew?
I was under the impression that they insulted me behind my back every time I was out of earshot.
They do that to each other. It's how they show love. But they say you're honest, and they said you fought with them, and they said you can be trusted. Are you the same man? Did you make it all the way from those other planes like they did?
He says, "I've been struggling with that question myself. At this point, having consumed the dark again, I think that I am both men."
I would like to sort of look into his soul, and with my monkey powers,
You're a monkey?
I'm a monkey. I'm the Monkey King.
Oh!
I like to try kind of. Do I believe him?
Give me an insight check.
Is this sincere?
Mm-hmm.
17's not bad.
He seems sincere. You think he is a bit confused about who he is and his identity. And from what you'd heard from the rest of the party and from what we all as players know, like Emerald was conflicted about his identity before he left. And he seems to be telling you the truth. He is both the Emerald of old and the Emerald of new. Or rather,
right.
the Emerald of Toril and the Emerald of Azemar.
And I decide this Emerald can be trusted.
All right.
At least for now.
He gets this thing ready. He humana, gets the teleportation going. Whoosh, the somatic component. And you arrive
Classic somatic component.
on the balcony of the tower, of the lower tower of Azai, looking
Very
out
cool.
over this really awesome inside of a sphere city underground.
I remember it was very cool.
It's very cool. Just you wait for the finale. All right. From the balcony, he takes you back into the tower. He leads you up and down some stairs, in and around, down some hallways. And he says he's taking you up to where his father's quarters are. He gets up to just outside where these big double doors are, and he says, "Wait out here. I will speak to him, and then we will bring you in."
This is gonna end badly.
And he goes inside.
Does that sound legit?
That does sound legit. Like,
Okay.
it is his dad's quarters. It's not even like a throne room or a meeting room. It's his quarters.
I'm gonna go talk to my dad.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Like, you want the Emperor's permission to enter his quarters.
And he's
Before
just
you enter.
walking in. 'Cause
I mean,
his dad.
It's his dad. Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. We're good.
Yeah.
But I would like to be attentive and looking around.
Yeah.
I'm on edge.
Yeah. Absolutely. Give me a perception check as Emerald goes in and shuts the doors.
I'm pretty good at these.
I'm gonna get all up on that too. I'm also percepting.
All right.
I'm
Excellent.
pretty good at these.
You both notice that in the
Man.
hallway behind you, which is not the way you came in here, you sort of came past the doors the other hallway, there are a few guards coming around the corner and up to you, and they say, "Excuse me, gentlemen, we need you to step back."
So what are they trying to move us away from?
Just a few steps back and away from the Emperor's quarters.
If that will make them more comfortable, I will step away from
Yeah, that
the door.
seems not worth fighting about.
All right, they get you a few paces back and are standing in front of you when the doors burst open and you see guards and arcane mages leading Emerald out. Emerald is manacled with a pair of magic glowing manacles
That's not good.
and is gagged with a magical looking gag thing.
I think we were supposed to catch that assassin.
And his eyes make eye contact with you for a moment, and you can see he's trying to talk, but like nothing is coming out. There's just this beam of light around his mouth, and nothing comes out from it.
Sounds just on your mouth. Wow.
Yeah, it's magic, yo. And you see then the next two people to step out of the quarters, along with a whole lot more guards and mages, are Zavarin and the Emperor. And Zavarin has his arm. He's got his arm around the Emperor on one shoulder and his hand on the other shoulder of the Emperor. And he says,
Clever. Pretty smart guy.
"It is as I told you, Your Majesty. Something about his time without the dark has driven him mad. My apologies. He had the blade, and he pulls up the blade and shows it. I was intending to replace you with it. You see, it is a dagger of disappearance, also known as the Life Stealer. If he had stabbed you with this blade, your essence would have been thrown into the astral plane, and he would have assumed your appearance." And he says, "If I had not caught wind of this plot and warned you, you would be dead and replaced by your son. But worry not. I have studied Hydrolon Dark longer than any, and I can isolate precisely what has driven him mad, and I will cure him. He will be the son you know and remember very soon." And you see the Emperor...
Zavarin, you are an unpleasant man.
He ignores you completely as he sort of leads the Emperor away with this group of guards and mages down the hall. You see the Emperor has a look of shock and confusion, but also sadness.
Is anybody bugging us?
No one's bugging you, just those guards are keeping you away. This seems like maybe why they pulled you away from the doors.
But Zavarin definitely saw us.
Oh, motherfucker's gonna regret that.
Zavarin absolutely saw you.
Well,
Good.
I mean, once the Emperor is
Oh,
off and the mages and guards are taking him away, Zavarin is going to turn around and walk towards the two of you, and he's going to, with just a whisk of his hand, dismiss the two guards there.
hello.
You're quite the clever one.
And he says, "You overheard only what I wanted you to overhear."
I'm getting that impression.
Yeah, in retrospect, that's kind of obvious.
He says,
Why are you pissing off the people who are trying to help you?
He says, "Vizerin strikes for the Emperor and for Azai, and Imral was going to ruin that plan by warning the Emperor. He would never have agreed with this use of the amulet, and it's the only way that we'll keep the city and the Empire safe. It's only temporary after all. Azai will return once Vizerin is dealt with."
So what happens now?
And he says, "Now we return to Isik, and we await the return of the amulet. If it has not returned by morning, or we have not heard from your party, I will send the two of you after it, if that's what you wish."
What are we doing about the Eldris family?
And he says,
That is a loose end that could directly impact your plans.
"Yes." He says, "My status with the Emperor has improved, as you might imagine, and I am now second of the Arcane. Still a step away from what I once was, but much better than 13th. My influence and my in with the Emperor will protect the Eldris family from Vizerin."
Are you much of a duelist? Ever fenced before Vizerin?
"I prefer duels of another kind.
Well,
The
then
kind that I
suppose
have
you'd
demonstrated, the kind that I have demonstrated my skill in tonight."
Then I suppose you'd understand that the greatest swordsman in the world has nothing to fear from the second best, or the third best, or the fourth best, because he knows exactly what they're going to do. But he has everything to fear from the man who has never picked up a sword before, because he has no idea what he is going to do. Don't get cocky, Vizerin. A flick of the wrist could be the difference between your plans working and all of us dead. Your fate here has a lot of moving parts.
He says, "I've been playing this game longer than you or your entire family has been alive.
That is
Don't you-"
exactly why I am worried. Shall
I'm
we
sorry,
go?
didn't you lose a round of it fairly significantly? Nothing personal, but I don't care what happens to you. I don't want to be,
And he says,
pawn number 3 in some gambit that you trip over.
"Fair enough. I consider you more of a bishop."
Well,
Myself.
that's
That's
flattering
flattering.
and all.
And he says, "Sometimes some ground must be lost so that the war can be won."
Yes, everything looks intentional in retrospect.
Let's
And he
be
says-
gone then.
Do not
definitively,
worry. We will protect Azai and remove Vizerin, and all will be as it was.
What do we plan on doing with Emerald? Again, could piss off the Eldresses.
And he says, Immer will be fine. I will keep him safe until this all is over. And then he can return just as he was, and we can face the consequences at that time.
Excellent. I don't trust a single thing Zavrin is going to say for the rest of Zavrin's life.
I think that he will see that the end justifies the means. Once this is all through and done with.
well, that's never been a suspicious statement. What happened to him?
What do you mean?
I traveled with him for a while before he came here. He left in the company of mages.
He says, yes, you mean the two emeralds.
I suppose I do.
Seen this within him as well. You see, from my perspective, the emerald that I knew and loved and trained, he was betrayed by the mages in the asylum of a Sikh, locked away and separated with his connection to the dark and driven mad. It is for this that I was cast out of the arcane circle. But then, through my aforementioned crystal ball, I saw that Vizerin had not been fully mad. Something new arose within him. And then the rest of you arrived. And then he began a journey anew, but instead of heading east, as I would have expected, to return to Azai and to his father, he headed west, deeper into the jungles. I knew I had to know why, and I had to know myself, and bring him back to the Emperor. I traveled myself to Kir Sabal, where I found Emerald, confused, unsure of who he was, still struggling with this mixed identity, the two emeralds, of which he only knew one, and the other was lost in the dark. I offered him insight, a connection to his former self, understanding of who he really is and what he is meant to do. And he took that and he joined me, and returned to Azemar.
Fair enough.
He still struggles at times. I can only imagine what it must be like to have two of yourself. Conflicting memories, experiences. But he is stronger now than he was, than either of his previous selves.
Yes, the dual identities can be confusing, I'm given to understand. What is the deal with Hydrolon Dark?
Hydrolon Dark. He says, this is not the
We
setting.
found some briefly, but...
This is not the setting. Shall we return to Asik?
I give him the kind of, sure.
Lead the way.
He leads you back to a
The knight
teleportation
follows
circle.
the king.
He teleports you guys back to Asik. It's dusk now, and he says, I will explain quickly before I return for dinner with the Emperor. He
teleporting all over the place.
brings you down back into that room with the mirror where he was before. He lets you in there, and he says, "This place is safer." He says, "Hydrolon Dark was a creation of my master and of the Dark Elves. By harvesting the arcane power within a certain fungus that grows in the Underdark, and through a specific alchemical process, Hydrolon Dark can be created. It enhances the powers of mages. It gives you additional spell slots, increases your spell DC, has other cool stuff that it
he
does
says
mechanically.
in narrative words.
And he says, but it does have a downside. It is extremely addictive. And if you are not carefully weaned off of it, losing access to the dark can drive you mad. And he says, this is the piece of Hydrolon Dark that we keep close to the chest. We wouldn't want to cause panic in the people. Of the mages that protect them are so dependent on something so rare and limited.
And that if they stop getting it, they all turn into, well, let's say, walking natural disasters.
Yes, that would be an accurate description. He says, it is a unfortunate cost, but a necessary one. It keeps the mages in line. It solidifies our power. And makes it so that we can withstand any foe. You, of course, know the story of the dwarves.
I do.
Nothing could stand against them in the west. Even here in the east, they struck down all conventional armies, and it took the mages but a matter of months to drive them back across that bridge. And all the way into that mountain of fire of theirs, and they have not had a king since.
About that.
The Dom kind of rubs the bridge of his snout. And just sort of sighs and says, I miss the dragon holds.
When you say Emerald lost his connection to the dark.
He went into withdrawal.
I see. Okay. I suppose I have no more questions. In the morning, if you'd be so kind, it would be nice to rejoin our compatriots.
And he says, we will see if we hear from them in the meantime.
Yes, of course.
I have dinner with the Emperor now, if you'll excuse me.
By all means.
He gives you free reign back of his apartments, and he heads off to go have dinner with the Emperor.
Welp, we just got played pretty hard.
I don't enjoy it particularly.
No.
Is there anything else y'all... Oh, go ahead.
I hope he's smart enough to realize that I'm kind of got a bit of a problem with authority. I don't like being a chess piece.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he would not have picked up on that.
Well, glad.
It sort of radiates.
I try.
Is there anything else y'all would like to do tonight?
I don't think so.
Ponder. Stare pensively off of the balcony I know we have.
Mm-hmm. All right. You
know,
can absolutely do that.
Meditate with the sword.
Fantastic.
Frustrated, centering myself.
And that's all I've got for you tonight. That's where we're going to leave you. And we will rejoin the party next week. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So viewers, please do tune in tomorrow night, 7:15 p.m. Pacific, here on Facebook.com/Jetsam Academy. We will be seeing what Theo and Burnham are up to down in the Sand Sea. Bum, bum,
Bum, bum, bum.
my players, please do message me with your rose, thorn, bud. That is the thing you liked, the thing you didn't like, and the thing you're looking forward to. I didn't mean to do it like that.
We both didn't like getting played like idiots.
Viewers, thank you for tuning in. Please do message the page, comment on the video, give us your feedback. And with that, we will see you all tomorrow night and then next week. Bye-bye now.